Welcome back to the A Show, and we're celebrating 3 years. All right. We are back on the A Show. Of course, you're here with us, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sorry, we are. I'm so excited. It's the 3rd anniversary. I'm here with Meelz. What's going on, Meelz? 3 years, buddy.
Man, didn't that new theme song just like, doesn't it get you amped? Doesn't it just want you to like, actually, it makes me want to listen to more Pop Smoke. But that new theme song, man, listen, new stuff for the A Show. We got a new logo that we're unveiling today. We got a new theme song that we're unveiling today. 3 years. Listen, nah, that theme song that really got me like,
Yeah, I'm tearing up a little bit. We actually did this, and we have really just kind of like come into our own as
uh, we don't need to do this every monumental thing. I feel like we do the sentimental thing every uh monumental thing.
I mean, we can't believe it. I mean, it's huge. Three
At this
years.
point, I believe, yeah, it's 3 years, but 150 something episodes. I don't even know what episode number this is. It's probably a good thing to check, huh? Um, yeah, and you know what? You got new toys too. Listen,
Yes.
just the logo and the theme song isn't the only thing that new. Talk about it, please. Let us
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Let's go. Like we are in a new era of the A Show. I managed to steal some of the equipment from 205 in Park. So let's give it up for me. Give it up for me. I did it.
Let's give it up for
Yeah.
thieves. Let's give it up for kleptomaniacs
Yeah,
everywhere.
come on,
Yeah,
man.
let's do that.
Yeah, they like that. They like that one.
Oh, don't do that.
They
Don't
like.
laugh track me. Don't laugh track me. I am the office. I don't have a laugh track. All right.
So
I am
yeah,
Michael Scott.
we are you are gonna hear from now until eternity. The A Show will sound completely different. It's like our Thunderdome. It's gonna look and sound more different than ever.
Wow.
We are we are
Okay.
we are dedicated. We have been dedicated for a really long time to making this show better. Just through you know different types of things we do to the show, the way that it sounds, and we're going full on in terms of making this sound as professional as possible. So, bear with us in the next couple of weeks as we craft a new show for you guys. But you're gonna be hearing a lot more cool things. You know what I mean? That's going on in the show, and it's gonna be a lot more smoother. And I think like a lot of people probably won't even notice, but me and Meelz for sure notice what the show sounds like from week to week, and we've really worked to improve the quality of the show. So
Well,
uh,
I'm thinking that people do, and they just have the decency and not the non-rudeness not to comment on it when it sounds terrible. Because we've gone through the ringer with this show, with shows that are cut off, having to re-record things, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully this is smoother. This is the first time that we're using it. I don't anticipate hiccups, but there may be some. So I would say please bear with us. And as soon, if you continue listening, as you should probably do every week, every Wednesday, et cetera, then it'll get better, and we're just gonna keep getting better, and that's kind of it. I don't know what else to say anymore.
yeah,
What I have to say is we got a lot of hot takes.
yeah,
This show
we got a loaded
is
show. We got a really
yeah, we
loaded
got a
show.
I'll see.
Um,
Yeah.
it's so loaded that in all of the excitement of our 3 year anniversary, I don't know what the news is.
Don't worry about the news. We don't got to worry about the news. There was a great SmackDown. There was a pay-per-view. There was another one for Raw. Yes, we can definitely just run through those to kick things off, and then we'll get to the hot takes. And then also, I think we're supposed to do a one listen review of Elias's thing because our social media is just going crazy, and they're just signing us up for listening to Elias albums.
Yeah, I don't
And
like that.
people are just like, yeah, I voted no. I don't know if you know this. I voted no, but I was overwhelmingly, um, beaten by the people who wanted us to do a one listen, review of this entire thing. And you know what? Fine. We're both. I mean, I don't know when's the last time you reviewed music.
I review it every single
um,
day in the official RNC chat.
okay, all right, yeah, true, true. But on a public forum, when's the last time you reviewed music?
Oh man, long since Voice of the Voiceless, maybe Voice of the Voiceless.
Yeah. So it's been a couple years. So
Yeah.
we about to get back in our bag and review this Elias album, kind of.
So do you want to do that first, or you want
No, 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 no. Let's not do
to?
that first. Let's wedge it in somewhere while we have fun doing stuff.
Yeah. So
Um,
Hell in a Cell was on Sunday. It was a really good three match show, in my opinion.
um, four matches. Hello. Wait a minute. Don't
I'm
three
not
match
counting that.
show.
I'm not counting
Don't
that.
three. Don't three match show this show because we got listen, all is right in the world. I just want you to know this. All is right in the world. This is something that was supposed to happen. And I'm glad that I put it in the universe enough so many times that it actually happened. I know we're probably not supposed to be starting off on this because the show is called Hell in a Cell. There's three Hell in a Cell matches. Quite frankly, we should get to at least one of those. But I would be remiss if in these 3 years of me championing the Miz, and just having to continue to champion the Miz over and over and over and over again. And it happened. He's Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, two-time Mr. Money in the Bank. And not only that, he beat Otis, which I'm more happy for. And now Otis is on SmackDown and he's doing whatever he's doing. He got beat up by his tag partner because Tucker, whatever the hell his damn name is, finally got no, don't do that. Don't do that.
I
Don't do
have
that.
to.
Don't
It's
don't
Miz
disrespect
talk.
me. Don't
It,
disrespect me.
it's
Don't
Miz
disrespect.
talk.
It's Miss. This
I
has
hate
been
Miz
three
talk.
years of Miss Talk. No, Miss Talk is amazing. Miss Talk. Now you're on the edge of your seat. Now you have finally someone that you're going to worry about. Oh, is he going to cash in? Instead of like, I hope this nigga doesn't cash in. Is what everyone else was saying about Otis.
Well, my thing with the Miz thing is that Raw got stuck with the smelly Money in the Bank contract because no matter what happens, there is nobody in line that I would love to see win that title at all.
Mm. I
They got
mean, I would, but yeah, I don't know
they got
about that.
stuck with this stinky Money in the Bank contract gimmick, and I feel like okay, it is off Otis. I am very glad Miz is old faithful. I'll say that he is someone that you know is going to perform, and you know he's going to have a good
Absolutely.
promo, and you know that he's going to be able to, even if he's not to the level of a damn, a Seth Rollins or anyone else, he's at least going to be a serviceable heel that people want to see lose.
Wow, serviceable. Wow.
Yeah,
Come on.
he's a good hand.
15 years.
He's a good
15
hand.
years.
He's a good hand,
15
bro.
years. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens.
Come on, man. He's okay, but at the end of the day, I thought that it was that match was more story than match. It was like seven
Yeah.
minutes long. I even asked right before. I think a lot of people did. Like, is Tucker gonna like turn? Because that's the only way that this ends, and then it did happen. And then it's just weird to have Tucker turn and then not be on the same show.
And not even be on Raw the following night
Yeah,
to explain like why he did anything. He just got beat up and they went into the popcorn section and that was kind of it. But you know what? I'm fine. I don't really want to see Tucker. Tucker wasn't part of the deal. It just was a caveat for everything. So I'm fine with not seeing Tucker. I'm fine with not seeing Otis. I am 100% fine with Miz being Mr. Money in the Bank and haunting everyone's nightmares and everyone's dreams for the next about, I don't know what to say, maybe like 7 months. Maybe
that's
7 months.
that's bad work. We also had really good Hell in a Cell matches. The actual night began with the match that I thought should have ended the show, with Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a I Quit match for the ages. First I Quit match in 5 years. I thought Roman Reigns once again stepped up his game. His acting is just on another level right now. Jey Uso also, we got to give it up for him for actually holding his own. I was skeptical a month ago at this, but after seeing it come to fruition, I really loved the match. I thought it was in some ways better than their first one. I gave both matches 5 stars, but I thought these were just two really, you know. I always thought like you don't want to super solidify this guy as a heel, but like they really did it and they really made you see like this guy is at a point of no return, and there were so many ways that showed that in that match.
Yeah, they doubled down on whatever happened last month. I mean, I think last month was just truly the indicator of like, okay, this guy is a heel. This guy is not good. Don't think of him as your anti-hero. Don't think of him as your cool heel guy. He is not a good person. He's someone going against the family. And this kind of just doubled down. This was more so about establishing the name of the tribal chief. And I think they did it in spades with him kind of, you know, making both Usos who's quite reputable, all these other things kind of bow at his feet. And then he goes up, he walks up the ramp, and just the imagery of um, just is I think it's I want to say I don't know if it's his father
Oh,
or
Sika is his father,
right.
yeah, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't fully know the names of the two, so excuse me. I don't want.
Sika off of the Wild Samoans.
Okay, it was both of them. Okay, I
Yes.
just didn't want him to be another one. Just kind of bestowing on him the role of chief in the family, and kind of looking back at the Uso discussed it. I mean, it was just the entire time you're watching that match, it was like this is such good shit.
It was
It just
heartbreaking.
was.
It was really
Yeah.
heartbreaking, and it's like you start the show on such a bummer note. It was really hard for anything else to like. The next thing you see is Elias with the guitar. You know,
Right. I
it's
mean, well, fair. That's what it should have been because I think you needed that type of break for everyone to cool down and kind of like the air around that kind of to settle because like you said, it was a three-match show and they put quite the acts in between. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, and again, Roman crying, very like crazy moment. You never see that. You never see, and I think I tweeted like I don't know a lot of people. Shawn Michaels might be one of them, but I think Roman blew Shawn Michaels out the water with his performance as far as just the facials he was giving, and just the actual emotion and the charisma. Like Meelz when he
But
cried.
Sean hams it up too much. Sean hams it way up too much.
Well,
Like he's
I
like,
think the quintessential Shawn moment obviously is the Ric Flair match, and that's what I'm basing it off
yeah,
of. That's the
okay, all
quintessential
right.
Shawn moment, and I
That
think
is the moment like most known for like it's like acting with a storyline.
right,
Like if it could win an Emmy, it would have.
right.
If it could win some sort of award, it would have an Oscar winning performance. I could see how this Roman thing kind of tops that. I could see that.
Yeah, like I say like the moment he cried, then he put Jimmy in the triangle choke. Then he gets up and his face is completely like stone like angry.
Yeah, still. Yeah.
And then he does the one thing that I liked is that he wiped his eye at the end of the match, and I was like, this motherfucker is psychotic. Like he's
And
like,
wiped it over his chest, by the way.
oh yeah, he did. And it was literally, and I love again Paul Heyman solidifying that turn as well, saying this is not the same guy, and Paul could also hem it up, but he looks genuinely afraid, and I think that
Right.
that's a really cool moment as well. The other Hell in a Cell match, we'll just go by to me the strong ones than the one that didn't really like live up to it, but I thought was still kind of like it was just solid, just overlong. I thought Bailey and Sasha Banks was great, but we knew it was going to be great. But the question here um, is it better than Brooklyn or was it better than Brooklyn? I saw a lot of people saying that.
I would say it's a different flavor than Brooklyn. I couldn't equate the two. It's kind of like watching a completely different match in a completely different space. I think Brooklyn was one that was built up on kind of this early version of the story. It's like actually watching anime. Now I think about it. Shout out to the lookout, but it's kind of like actually watching anime and them doing that first Vegeta versus Goku fight, and then in that Saiyan saga where Vegeta finally shows up on Earth, and then you like scroll past to like the Buu saga where they do Vegeta versus Goku again, and they're just in completely different spaces. They're on a completely different level. It's a completely different level of brutality, and that's why I can't really compare the two. I mean, I could. I mean, if I want to say which one I enjoyed the most, I was there for Brooklyn. It was fucking awesome. Hell in a Cell was a different kind of flavor. It was a different type of vibe, and they went all out. I think they were as nervous to get this match done than anyone because it's just been so long and it's been so highly anticipated. And the first match is a Hell in a Cell, and kind of the the amount of pressure to deliver in this instance, and then they lived up to it. And probably the most surprising thing for me is that Sasha Banks won.
Yeah.
I mean, that surprised the hell out of me.
I get the feeling, and I don't want to like predict too much or too early. I get the feeling that Bailey might be taking some time off. I don't know if you saw um, her Chronicle that was on WWE Network.
The
It
Chronicle, the kiss of death,
Yes,
as we like to say.
it Chronicle went 2-0 this weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Or not
yeah. It
Chronicle,
really
but
did.
network documentaries went 2-0 because you had the
Oh
Bailey
yeah.
Chronicle and then you had the Randy Orton one, and I was like, oh no.
Listen, you had the Jay Uso one a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
then he goes, and then I just remember specifically around Mania, was it Mania weekend? I think Samoa Joe got one, and then like lost, or like Shinsuke got one along. I don't know,
yeah.
something about
Shinsuke got
these.
the WrestleMania one, but I think that one was after Mania. I think that one came out after Mania.
Nah, that one definitely came up before Mania.
Did
I
it?
remember watching it before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he lost big time.
Oh, and you know why? Because I think it debuted during Takeover or after Takeover or
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
something along those lines. Yeah, for sure.
So essentially, we find out that Bailey's stepfather passed away, and
Mm.
that was a really like heavy moment in the Chronicle. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be shocked or even upset if she decided to take some time off because he just passed away about 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, and she wasn't able to go home because if she went home, then she would have had to pretty much been in isolation for 2 weeks to be able to actually return. Well, not return. It's not like it was the bubble, but in order to kind of be safe, like you go, you take a trip, you fly over there, you're there with the family, you kind of got to like go through the specific protocol that it is, especially in these time of days. So she didn't necessarily like want to do that. It was tough. It
Yeah,
was tough,
yeah,
and it's actually just a part of wrestling. I mean, it's something that a lot of people go through. Even talk about the Undertaker thing, where his dad passed away during WrestleMania, and all this other stuff. It's unfortunate, part of wrestling and kind of the sacrifices that you make.
yeah. But I really liked the match. It was not as good as Brooklyn. I thought it was still one of the best matches of the year, though. Sasha does not disappoint in the cell. Sasha in the cell. It should be her new name. And then going into the main event, no stupid finish here, which is what I thought or predicted was going to happen between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. It was a little bit slower, but they had to be because of the fact that like the other two matches had done the cell so much differently than they did. So I understood the more methodical pace, but I thought that at the end of that night, even if it was a short pay per view, those two matches were so long. Like the Roman and Jay match was like 40 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
Sasha and Bailey was about 30. So this one went around that, and it just ended up being very, 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 very lengthy. And I thought that it was just not to the level of that. I thought Drew took a crazy bump. A guy like that should not be falling through tables. That's just crazy.
He just got to. I think he wants to. I think he's still determined to prove himself. As much as he's been champion for the last couple of months, I think he's still determined to prove himself as a really like memorable competitor. And I think that's part of it. And he wanted to take that. Randy wouldn't have taken that bump. I don't think Randy in ever in any life, any of his 9 lives maybe he would have ever taken that bump. But Drew will, and I think he knew that they needed to do that because of the level of Hell in a Cell matches that were going on before him.
Yeah.
Each
Uh,
of those matches kind of had a different kind of style to it, and while the last one was definitely a lot more slow paced and methodical, they needed that spot for him for that match to kind of even be remembered on the part of the show.
Yeah, and again, we lead from that bump to Randy Orton pretty much following him into the cell, missed Claymore into an RKO for Randy to win his 14th. A lot of people said 15th, 14th title in the WWE. Big milestone. He ties Triple H all time for a number of title reigns. And
Mm-hmm.
do you want to go into Raw before we go into the shows though? I want
I
to
mean,
go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah.
I
No,
really
finish up.
I really want to say thanks to everyone who showed up to Clubhouse, the new app that everyone's talking about. We made a room on Clubhouse for the A show, watching Hell in a Cell, and we had so many people show up. So everyone from Wale to Kaz to our good friend Jeff J. Devin showed up, Busby showed up. Obviously, we all did on the A Show Network. Everyone who showed up, thank you for showing up and talking wrestling with us for that 2 hours. It was such a blast and such a different type of energy from everything else on that app.
Oh yeah. Let's not give him any more thing to that app. Let's leave it there. I don't
We'll
think
be
we have
doing
to
it
talk.
again. We'll be doing it again.
Yeah, I don't think we have to talk about the shows that much because I don't think. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff in these hot takes that revolve around the show. I don't think we have to talk about the shows that much, but I think we can definitely talk about probably the most relevant thing has been the Fiend is now kind of dancing with Randy Orton. So the Randy Orton wins the WWE Championship. He's now found. It seems like they're finding a new dance partner, or they're at least trying to add him to the contention with the Fiend. What are your thoughts on this?
I am of the mind, and this was rumored about 2 weeks ago, that Universal wanted more stars and they wanted the Fiend. So if you look at who's front and center in the Raw intro, on the Raw commercials, I don't know if you caught those in between Raw or just watching USA. If you do, the Fiend is front and center, and they want him to be front and center on this show. And the thing
Yeah.
is, they always do this. They did it with SmackDown too. Then when he has
Mm-hmm.
a match, and then he goes back into obscurity or he disappears for 2 months, then we get back to a normal show. Raw is not
The
going to
thing,
be. Go ahead.
no, I would say the thing is that I feel like they build him up to a certain point, and then there's kind of like the hump they're gonna have to go over, which essentially is going to have him lose. To me, he's not a star quality. He is a figure. He
Yeah,
is a personality. He is
he's
someone
an
who
attraction.
is. He's an attraction. There you go. I would say that. But in terms of a star of the show, I mean, there's not a complicated story you can tell with the Fiend unless you make him a lot more vulnerable. Um, and he says a lot more. There's only so much that you can do. You can only move him in like really two dimensions. You can't really move him to a third dimension. You can't even try a fourth dimension or something like that. You can really move him in back and forth and back and forth. And that's what they've been doing over the last, I would say, what,
Year, 2 year. Or it's been a year. It's been a year.
been a year. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's
I
been
feel
a
like it's
year.
been an
Yeah,
eternity.
it. I mean,
Um,
obviously, 2020 kind of shapes things a lot differently, but I guess I would guess that if we had not had like, pandemic mania this year, then I think that we would be looking at the Fiend's first year a lot differently. But it's been a year since that Hell in a Cell with him and
I
Seth
don't know about
Rollins.
that, but
I think it would have been different because we would have definitely seen Goldberg and Roman, and we would have seen Fiend Cena, and it would have ended a lot differently. It would have been in ring. It would have been different. Everything would have been different this year. But I think that
mm,
again, they didn't want Drew to get beat by the Fiend because their whole, they're still going with the gimmick that if you get beat by the Fiend, you turn. So they don't want Drew to turn because he's the guy, and I get that. He hasn't even gotten a chance to be the guy in front of the fans yet. So
right.
what you want to do is you want to pass it to Randy. They have history. USA Universal, NBC Universal. They want a huge marquee attraction on the show and a huge match, and that is Fiend against Randy Orton. Now, does he get the title? I don't know if they want to climb that mountain again because we've seen what happened with that.
Is he a face or a heel or what is he?
He's a
Like
tweener.
what is
He's
he?
a tweener,
And
and
so
what
what is Randy?
well, Randy's firmly a heel, but I think the thing they're trying to do and why they did the retribution thing was to tell people, hey, he's going after the bad guys now. Because he didn't even he hasn't even messed with anyone else. And it seems to be like that's who he wants is Randy Orton. And that's who you're supposed to boo. Even when the Fiend came out at the end of the show, it was they put the cheer track on. They were like full on babyface reaction for him. So that's who they want you to cheer.
Right. I think, especially with the ending of Raw, first of all, I kind of liked it. I will say this about the Randy Orton and Fiend thing, because I don't know if people are necessarily excited for it. I think, considering the year that Randy Orton has had, he might be able to get the best out of the Fiend story wise. And I don't even think that their story leading to that Mania maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was even particularly bad. I thought it was actually pretty good. Um, but it's just the matches, just boy. Um,
It was bad.
but yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think if you're trying to tell a story character wise, I think you can definitely do that with Randy Orton. If you want to make him a star, you can do that with Randy Orton. But the thing is like make the Fiend the face. At this point, why are we still trying to harp on the heel thing? And why are we still trying to do this? Make the Fiend the face. People want to cheer him. He is cool looking, and then have him break everybody's hearts and turn heel again. Like that seems to be the formula more so than let's do a heel and then let's try to transition him into a face or something along those lines.
Yeah, just
People are gonna cheer Randy Orton. People are gonna cheer Drew.
yeah.
It's just I don't know. He seems like the odd man out in this kind of thing.
Well, it's seeming to me like it's going to be some type of triple threat thing. They don't want to put Drew out completely, but again, when the Fiend, like, let's not even just say the Fiend, Bray Wyatt ruins all synergy on every brand that he's ever on. Can we just say that? Like, he really does ruin the synergy of any brand that he's on. It becomes his story, and you have to work around his limitations. And, like, instead of Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre
Right.
just ending, it now has to continue because now we already know Drew is gonna like. Can we just say it right now, right off the bat? Drew's gonna probably get this title back in December or sometime before.
I don't know if I can say that. I think something is gonna happen with either Drew or Randy, where one of them is gonna turn allegiances based on being in proximity to the Fiend.
It's gonna be Randy.
That's what
then.
I think.
It's gonna be Randy then.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
And I don't think Randy wants to be a face. But then again, there's this whole like edge thing that's supposed to be coming eventually. I don't know what's going on. This is more so a wait and see thing, but I like the ending of Raw. I like the Fiend popping up behind Randy, and he's just like, "I'll take my chance with Drew. Fuck it." And he's just like dips off. I thought that was incredible. I thought that was genius.
uh, I thought Raw was abysmal this week.
Yeah,
Other than that,
it set up Survivor Series. I thought that was good.
they set up Survivor Series in 5 minutes.
Good. It should be like that, to be honest with you. I love the Raw versus SmackDown. When we thought about the Undertaker thing possibly taking hold of it and them not doing the brand thing, I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. But to do Raw versus SmackDown for all these things and all these matches that I don't even want to say we haven't seen. We've seen Asuka versus Sasha Banks all fucking summer.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn to like not good results. We've seen Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. I mean, we haven't seen them in this kind of iteration, so maybe they can take it up another level, but I maybe doubt it. So,
Well, I got a feeling that there's going to be a title change somewhere in the next couple weeks.
ooh, interesting.
I'm thinking Sammy might lose the IC title in the next 3 weeks.
Nah, it would. I would be, but then again, they're doing Bobby with fucking Retribution, so I doubt any of
I mean,
Retribution.
Ali and Daniel Bryan would be heat. I think that would be really cool.
I think that would be really cool too. But I don't know. I think they're gonna keep them on everybody. I think you want to at least have Retribution. I think you want to at least have their Hurt Business doing something on the show so they can explain why they're not like facing Retribution, because I don't think they're gonna face Retribution at Survivor Series.
Yeah, they already did the elimination match. Oh my god. Can we talk about Mia Yim?
Mia Yim. I wish you had. I made a tweet. I wish you had this drop loaded on your computer. Let's see if I can find my tweet. But yeah, what was the Mia Yim about?
She said she got possessed on Twitter from her Reckoning account, but they have completely and I said this was a possibility that would happen. I was like, what, 80-20 that it was going to happen. They squandered all of their goodwill from the tweets. They had Mia Yim hitting the Harlem Shake and then hitting the Harlem Shake like on the ground, screaming. Like the Bow Wow version where you do the Crip Walk and the Harlem Shake at the same time.
Listen, this was Mia Yim. I got it queued up.
Who was on crack?
Listen,
I gotta take that one.
Yes, please. That was the only thing that I could see it as, to be honest with you.
That was sick. That was they have made these people look like geeks, like bigger geeks than they were a month ago, and this is now actively hurting Ali, where his heel turn just don't hit, and it's hurting the people who like. I mean, luckily they have masks on, so like if they wanted to do this, all they have to do is just turn the clock back, and they'll be fine. Just turn the clock back. It's not working. It's a failure.
I agree. I mean, failure is a stretch, but yeah, it's not working out well. They don't seem the vitriol. I don't know what the fuck they had planned, but the fact that you don't necessarily have a plan to put them over, but you took up all that screen time and getting them there is just like wow. This is why professional wrestling doesn't win any awards for anything reputable because stories don't go far in wrestling.
No.
Stories aren't built or fleshed out or come full circle. They rarely do. And a good story eventually does, but it'll take you like 4 years and you'll stumble upon it. Like a Daniel Bryan story, which is like, I guess he's working. I guess we'll make a story in. And that's a good story and it tells it in a great 2 year arc, but realistically, you don't wait 2 years to tell that fucking story. And you don't
Even
wait.
they've done stories like this way better though, Meelz. Like Daniel Bryan, like you bring up Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatt family is one of the most like,
But I even think that was a bridge. Like the way they ended that was so like it cut off its legs. He joined the Wyatt family for like 2 weeks. Like instead of like getting a good build of it, I think the Randy story, now the Randy Wyatt story, where he joined the Wyatts and they actually put it over. They won the tag team championships. There was some, in between fighting with Luke Harper and Randy Orton, all this other stuff like that. Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble, whole bunch of other things. They really added a whole bunch of elements to that story to make it work. It just sucks that the match itself. But they added so much to make that story work, and they just don't do that here.
Yeah.
They don't do it often. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I mean, I know that here's the thing, they're gonna get joked and ridiculed anyway. So if they keep going with this, they're gonna get ridiculed. If they drop it next week, they're gonna get ridiculed. But I think they get ridiculed less if they have Mia Yim show up as Mia Yim, Dijakovic show up as Dijakovic, Shane Thorne show up as himself again because he's already been on Raw before, and just have them just be characters on the show. The brand needs these guys.
I don't think this lasts by the end of the year.
Exactly. Like the Raw brand needs them. They don't need them in this role, but they need them as a mid. Like Raw has no mid card. they had a 24/7 like a serious match with the Ninjas and Drew Gulak versus the Lucha whatever house party. That was a serious thing that happened on Raw this week, yo.
That's crazy.
Like that was something that actually happened on this show. And if they want people to fucking watch this show, they need to tighten up. Well, here's the thing.
Well, Raw needs to tighten up. SmackDown is tightened up. SmackDown got it tight. They managed to fit.
Well, here's the thing. SmackDown still got some shit with them too. Like they need to position Bianca better.
They started.
I'm not getting them off the hook for the Bianca.
No. They started. At least they started. She's in the ring, which is at least one start. Now, will she be in a program of any sort? I don't know yet.
Meelz,
she's at least made it to the ring.
If I see her next to Carmella this week, we gonna have a talk.
We gonna see what happens.
No.
We gonna see what happens. No, I say it because at least she made it to the ring. That was my big thing. Okay. It's like you can talk about it, but there's the one thing about Bianca Belair is you kind of got to see it. But I thought SmackDown did a good job in managing to highlight a lot of its feuds in different kind of quick ways, but also incorporating like the whole like Law and Otis thing that extended through the entire show. It just works well on SmackDown. They were just quick segments, even funny stuff. You had Teddy Long show up, you had Asuka show up, you had Rey Mysterio show up. It was cool. You also included another thing with the Seth and Dominic and what's his face?
I can't believe that's still
Murphy.
going. And please do not go up for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go up for it, but it's just I like that show much better because it had a smooth pace. Raw drags its ass all the time, and it's what I expected from Raw. As soon as we saw the draft and who came over, I was like, this show's gonna drag its ass with matches we've already seen before, featuring the same people we've seen them having before.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think though that we should get into your sorry this offends, and then we should get into hot takes because
we got a lot
of them.
So let's go ahead and get into sorry if this offends.
If I can be serious for a minute without being interrupted.
All right. Meelz, I'm going to talk about something really, really controversial today. Are you ready?
Talk about it.
So Booker T last week on Talking Smack had it out for Sasha Banks. And Booker T, we haven't been shy in criticizing Booker T in the past for the things that he said. I think that we could say that some of the things he said kind of rubs off on other people, namely someone who we've also talked about on this segment before, Ember Moon, in terms
Right.
of how they speak on the four horsewomen, more specifically Sasha and Bailey. So, if you haven't seen the segment on Talking Smack with Sasha and Booker T, definitely go see it. It's definitely awkward. It's definitely something that I feel like, people have to see to get the context of what we're going to say today. But it just ended with Booker T and Sasha not being on the greatest of terms, and it looked like it was actually like very much a shoot.
Yeah, I would say so.
But
But what is? Let me refrain my words. Please keep going, sir.
Booker T continued today, actually, saying that Sasha Banks rubs him the
Well,
wrong.
I want to say in context, and this is in defense of Booker T. He was asked about it. It's not like he came
Yes.
out on Twitter and just started saying it. This was an interview that he did, and he was asked about it, and he answered it. That's all I'll say. I don't want people coming like he was coming out sideways out of his mouth and just started attacking them. He was asked about it, and he gave his honest opinion. But go ahead.
Uh, he was asked about Sasha, and he said that she rubs him the wrong way, and it's probably something about her attitude. Now, be clear here. Of course, the stands go insane. There's a level of vitriol going on for Booker T online that, is to the level that we were kind of expecting, and I'm pretty sure he expected it too. Of course, it gets him listens, it gets him views, it gets him mentions and engagement. I don't think he actually cares that much about what the stands are saying. I mean, this guy is a two-time Hall of Famer. He's lived his life. He's lived his wrestling life. But as a pundit and as a opinion leader in wrestling, he has been kind of very harsh and hard on a lot of wrestlers, whether it be of African American descent or anyone else. But I have noticed lately he has been hyping up the disdain for Sasha Banks a lot more. And I don't know if this is a shoot or a work or not. But my thing is this. It is the wrong time for Booker T to be explaining his actions for a black woman with attitude, and those types of words and that type of messaging. It's not the right time to do that. We have to protect black women. That's for sure. Does he have the right to an opinion? Absolutely. If Sasha Banks, and who he does know more than likely has seen around locker room, been around personally, if that's something that he's picked up on her, he's absolutely right and balanced and correct in saying how he feels about her personally. This isn't him saying, I'm saying you shouldn't like Sasha Banks, she is this, she is that. This is his experience with her. So I get that. What's troubling to me is one thing we're not going to do is minimize Booker T for something for a messaging that you probably don't really agree with. I don't think that as a whole he is diminishing Sasha Banks' talent. Did you hear that, Meelz? He didn't diminish her talent at all. He said that, and again, Booker T be tap dancing, but this is one time where I could say that he did not say Sasha Banks was not who she said she was, and that is great. He's just kind of going at her personally, which is weird, I'll admit. But one thing we can't do is say, Booker T isn't this, isn't that. Pump the brakes here. Like, this is one of the most influential African. Like, he opened the doors for a lot of the people we see here, like him, Mark Henry, even Stevie Ray. They opened the doors. And what I don't like seeing is, even within this discourse, we can disagree with Booker T saying, but just don't try and rewrite history and erase the pages.
Yeah. Like saying, "Oh, what has he done in compared to Sasha Banks?" Let me tell you what he's done in compared to, and it's not. I'm trying to once again discredit Sasha Banks. She is a 5-time women's champion. Booker T is a 6-time world champion. It's not like they're in different things in the same world, but I don't agree with minimizing Booker T's accomplishments as if he's done nothing, especially compared to Sasha Banks, who's still working and still in the twilight of her career. She's still working. It's not like she's the women. The women's revolution is fantastic, and she's just 100% a part of that. Booker T has been part of so much amazing things. Here's in terms of my opinion on this. I do agree it's a terrible time, and it shouldn't be something that should be said. And I think we should be defending Black women a lot more, especially on sort of public forums. But I do agree. Wow, beeping outside. I do agree that he's 100% entitled to his opinion. He's 100% if he believes that she has an attitude. Quite frankly, she does have an attitude. I'll be honest with you, she does have an attitude a lot. Um, no offense, but it's like that's part of her gimmick. That's part of her flair, right? That's part of her thing.
Yeah,
And
if
for
Sasha
you
Banks
guys,
if Sasha Banks is Mercedes Renato tuned up to 10, hell yeah, she probably got an attitude. That's why we love her.
right,
That's why we
right.
love her.
But also it's like you got to understand I don't necessarily, and it's more so with internet stands and stuff like that. It's social media. I'd say social media brings a lot of this vitriol because at the end of the day, it's like a lot of this is inspired by I'm gonna say gaslighting, but it's always like, oh, one person says this thing, another person says this thing, so much stuff on sort of social media, and that's kind of where it got it from. Don't discredit Booker T. That's one
Yeah.
thing we're not gonna do. Um, don't discredit everything that he's done, everything that he's went through. He's went through a lot. I'll tell you this: he went through a lot more than Sasha Banks has gone through in both of their wrestling careers.
Absolutely.
Booker T has seen racism to his face by a man in a red and yellow shirt. Um, and I don't know if Sasha Banks has necessarily seen that. I don't know her complete life, but Booker T has seen a lot, so I wouldn't want to discredit them. I believe that they both can come together and both agree on something, et cetera, et cetera. But
Well, I
I
think
think
through shared experience, right? They
right.
should sit and talk about what he perceives as an attitude because
But she may not want to, and that might be a thing. Like she may not want to. She may not agree. She may. I feel like anytime she feels slighted, she immediately tunes them out. And maybe this is me going too deep, but anytime that she feels slighted, she's just like, "Nah, that's it. You're cut off. You're good." And it takes a lot for them. I personally, how do I say this? I don't know. I like Sasha Banks. I like Booker T. I respect both of them in immense ways, but they're both problematic in their own rights. I've seen Sasha Banks uh, on social media use social media. Remember the time when she was gone and she was posting a lot of AEW stuff and she was like liking all these other things and et cetera, et cetera. And you're free to like that as well, but I do think she knows what she's doing in terms of social media and
I thought that was corny.
pushing that,
I thought that was corny.
yeah, pushing that sort of narrative.
Yeah.
So I think they both are problematic in their own standpoint, but I do agree that we shouldn't be doing this. This shouldn't be thinged on a public. We shouldn't be continuing to go back and forth about this, at least on a public forum.
Absolutely. So when we come back from this, we talked about the shows, we've offended people. We're gonna do a full segment on nothing but hot takes chosen by the fans and friends of the show on the A Show. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more hot takes. We got a lot of them.
This is Josh, fool. You know who we are? You alright, man? What is wrong with you, huh? Whatever the hell you going through. Whatever you going through, man, we can fix this. You ain't gotta do this, man. Come on, Oz. It's Josh. You hear me? This is Josh that's laying right here in the middle of this damn ring. Look at me, Oz. Look at me. Look at me, please. Just look at me. Whatever you're going through, you know we got you. You know we got you. It's always been like that. But this ain't it. This is not it. Look at me. I don't even know who I am anymore.
All right, we are back on the A Show. What a heartbreaking clip. I know I had to put that there. It's super bummer. We're supposed to be celebrating, but just a heartbreaking clip of Roman and Jay and Jimmy there, right?
I agree, 100%, man. That was a lot of acting. I'll say that they hammed that up.
It was a lot of acting.
Josh, it's me. It's your cousin Josh. It's like, okay, all right, relax.
This
All
Josh
right,
right here, fool.
Yeah, come on. I know. We've seen a lot of movies too. Like, come on. I've seen Friday. Are you ready for these hot takes, my friend?
Yeah, let's get into the hot takes. I wanna just firstly thank everyone for sending in hot takes. You know, thank you guys. Really appreciate that. Sending in
Wow.
these hot takes to the A show. We are, we're here to try and answer every one of them today. Just to show appreciation to everyone who sent in something. So, Meelz.
I'll let you know. We will try. We will try. 100%. We will try. And that'll say, you know what I want to start out with? And yes, this is definitely a plug and branding and all this other stuff like that. I'm going to start off with a hot take from Nelson, who dropped off a hot take. Of course, you can listen to the show Chatting with Nelson, which returns today. Immediately after the show, after you hear this, after it's live there, you'll be able to hear Chatting with Nelson. Make sure you follow RNC Radio Live on Twitter. Make sure you follow Noslin as Nelson on Twitter, and you'll be able to hear that show. He starts off with, he says, Ronda Rousey had the greatest rookie year in WWE history. Not only did she kill her debut at WrestleMania, she then went on to spend half her time as a champion, 7 out of 14 months. She beat 3 out of 4 horsewomen in singles matches, main evented the first and only women's pay-per-view, and was part of the women's main event and was part of the first women's main event in WrestleMania history. She was also natural in the ring, not requiring time to adapt. Her promos were also terrible overall, but her first 12 months are the best of any male or female. She helped make women's wrestling mainstream.
Hard to deny that, honestly.
It was a pretty damn good debut, but I feel like they had the blueprint from many debuts. Like,
they still whiff it though.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully she returns eventually. I don't know when she's gonna return. I don't even know if she fits anymore, to be honest. I mean, I don't even want to say that.
Oh, they make her fit
like a glove.
They make her fit. Like they make her fit.
Yeah.
The same way that like she beat probably everybody on the women's roster when she was there for the year. We'll watch her beat everyone again. That's just how good she is.
Yeah, that's true. Let's get in another hot take. It starts off. Let's go to Breon. Breon has a hot take. It says, by November's end, Bianca beats Sasha for the belt.
My God.
Wow.
30 days?
That is too soon. That's too soon.
Another 30-day reign?
I mean, that's right on time for Sasha, but I still feel like it's too soon for Bianca. It's not even so much the Bianca. I could feel, if you said in 30 days, by November's end, Bayley beats Sasha for the belt, I might even agree with that.
Yeah, that's more likely to me than Bianca. Yeah. I think Bayley takes 30 off, let Survivor Series go through. And then we get I really hate to keep giving these women gimmick matches because we never really got like a regular match between them, but a TLC match does kind of fit here.
Oh, they got plenty of regular matches. They had a regular match on the premiere of SmackDown. Yeah, it just wasn't good. Let's go into the next one. This next one comes from J Mac. It says, if SmackDown, Raw, and NXT combined their divisions, WWE would have a perfect amount of teams for a good tag team division. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I would like to see it.
Do you like tag team wrestling?
I do like tag team wrestling, but I like everyone in their own ecosphere. They make sense on their own brands, kind of. Raw and SmackDown could do it. I don't know if you add NXT to the mix, that it's going to do it. NXT kind of fits in its own ecosystem, kind of separate from Raw and SmackDown, and I kind of like it that way. I even liked it that they weren't including Survivor Series this year because, to me, it makes 2019 very special.
Let's speculate on that. Let's speculate on that really quick. And I agree that it does make it special, and I also agree that having NXT there, get that one win over the two brands makes it so when they show up again, they could have that bragging right. But why do you think NXT is not out? I mean, obviously, are
you with the train of mind that because of this party, SmackDown and Raw don't want NXT guys around them?
I am of the mind that is true as well. I think that you want to know what's crazy? There might be more COVID believers on the main roster than there are in NXT.
I would believe it.
There might be way more people who believe that COVID is real. And that, because like I just look at how many people like are liking Drake Wirtz's photos and stuff like that, and they're probably like Roman's probably like hell to the gnaw, You are not going to be
We
around
paying
me.
attention. I know
Yeah,
Roman's paying attention.
he's
Roman's
tapped
like,
in. Kevin Owens
mm,
for sure is tapped in.
oh yeah, for
I've
sure.
heard things.
Remember when Kevin Owens was like, yeah, initially I was gonna go back down to NXT, but then I said, nah,
Yep.
actually, I'll stay on the main roster. I don't think it was because of
He
COVID,
said
but
Team Young inward is too wild down there.
his non-wrestling hot take was white hip hop heads should be illegal. Wow.
Wow. Whoa. All right. We love everybody. All right.
We love everybody.
We love
Let's go to the
everybody.
next. Let's go to the next one. Fred DiBiase.
What's up,
It
Fred?
says, "I enjoy Retribution and think they can still come back from their shit bum introduction. Turn a couple more influential names to their side and to build a Survivor Series. Not saying I'm optimistic it will happen, but they haven't lost me yet. You know what? Shout out to you, Fred DiBiase.
You
They're going to me.
you watching a different show. You in a different type of time than we all watching. You must
Yeah,
have
yeah.
seen.
That is,
He's seen 2 months into the future. He's seen
yeah.
it.
I mean, I agree with your sentiment. If they make Retribution better, it can be better. Yeah. Like if they tried, yeah, it could be better. But they haven't. And that's why it sucks. So if they did put in a little bit more effort, it would definitely be better and I think people would enjoy it. But yeah, it don't.
I
His non wrestling hot
I would
oh,
have
okay,
thought
go
that
ahead.
I would have thought that they would have given Retribution a title or something already.
Mm,
That's
mm.
how you right? Am I wrong? Like that's how you legitimize them immediately. You have them literally just beat Lashley, have the Hurt Business chase, have Kofi and them chase, and that's the way that you go about it. Like why have they not won anything? Like that just doesn't make
I
sense to me.
I feel like Kevin Owens dodged a bullet by getting drafted to SmackDown because he would have surely gotten stomped out every week
Oh,
by Retribution.
for sure, for sure.
He just makes it work.
He would have been getting 2-on-1 by Slapjack and T-Bar. Like it would have been over.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The double power bomb through tables and stuff. Fred's non-wrestling hot take is Burger King has the best chicken sandwich in the league, but no one is ready for that conversation. Let me tell you what's not ready for that conversation. My stomach. Because Burger King,
I'm also not ready for that conversation ever.
yeah, Burger King is a listen. They sell chicken nuggets for $1. You really want to trust where their chicken come from? They sell 10-piece chicken nuggets for 99 cents. That ain't chicken, bro.
And also, when you
Um,
get the spicy ones, they're red.
oh
And
my
remember they
god.
came out with the Whopper with the black bun. Let's stop that.
They
Let's
came up. They did
yes.
so much chicken fries, hot dogs,
Chicken fries are just chicken
breakfast.
tenders, but they haven't eaten in a minute.
Yeah. um, Next one comes from Jonathan M. Says SmackDown has the best champions compared to all other shows: AEW, NXT, Raw, Impact. Let's start with SmackDown champions. They've got Roman Reigns, they've got Sami Zayn, they got the Street Profits, and they've got Sasha Banks. Best champions overall.
Um,
Just crowned a new Impact champion, Rich Swann.
I still give it to NXT.
NXT
Yeah.
has Finn,
Mm-hmm.
Io Shirai,
Mm-hmm.
tag team champions, newly Pat McAfee's,
Mm-hmm.
the fellas. That's what I'm gonna call them now.
The fellas.
Pat McAfee and the fellas, and also we'll say North American, my guy, Damian
Damian Priest.
Priest. I was about to say Damian Sandow.
I think that past Roman, like SmackDown has Sasha's great, but I think Io to me has had a better year.
Oh yeah.
And I think the mid card champion Damian Priest has done again. I think it just comes down to who's done more this year. It has nothing to do with like personally who I like better or who's better like all time. I just think that the NXT roster has had a better year than a lot of the champions that have been there. Like look at the SmackDown people. Like yes, Sasha's been there all year, but she's had very little like. She just started getting back into the singles matches, and this is like
Right.
months after Io's been killing it, and Io beat Sasha, so like there's a lot of stuff going there. So I still give it to NXT.
I'm gonna give it a SmackDown. Let's jump into a hot take. Actually submitted from friends of ours at Black Announce Table. Shout out to those guys. I hit them up. I was like, yo, at least throw
Tap
us a
in.
couple hot takes. Yeah, tap in. Shout out to those guys. You can definitely listen to those shows. I listen to it every time I'm running over the weekend or something along those lines. It's hilarious. Let's see. We got 3 from each member. Okay. So we got Eve. He says Kurt Angle's TNA run was better than his WWE run. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Hold on. You got the rookie year, the best rookie year of all time, or one of the best rookie years of all time.
Kurt Angle's WWE run was probably done right. TNA's was just like, his neck doesn't hurt as much anymore. I don't know. Like,
he was still on them stuff. He was still on them things. Yeah, come on, man.
You saw he mentioned Kurt Angle in that interview with Stone Cold.
Yeah,
I was like, don't make it not cool.
He made it hot. He made it way too hot, yo.
Way too hot. I don't know if I agree with that.
I can't agree with it. I really can't agree with it for the simple reason.
It might be. I didn't see. You know what? I haven't seen Kurt Angle's TNA run in full. I'll be honest.
I
haven't seen it in full.
Well, I mean, me and Cyrus are running through a TNA period for spot callers right now. But can you know the reason why I can't say that? What? Name a promo that Kurt did in Impact.
I remember he tried growing back his hair. And that was a disaster. So that's why I'm going to say it's probably whack. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You probably can't name a promo. You can't name a promo in TNA. No. You can't. I mean, I can't name a lot of TNA promos.
But I mean, you got Psycho Kurt, where he was like saying he wouldn't have sex with Booker T's wife. You had all that stuff with Kurt. He was on one.
Why is the first one you bring it up?
I mean, Kurt liked the
cowboy
sisters.
Hat, all this other stuff.
He liked the sisters. That's why I gotta bring it up.
Well, this is true. Next one comes from Chris Ann. She says Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Fair. She probably is. I would agree with that.
She is.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, she's not my favorite. She's not my favorite women's wrestler of all time. But she is. I mean, how could you deny it?
She is the greatest.
Yeah,
she just is.
You can't deny it. When Charlotte comes, the bell tolls for whoever has that title. Period.
For sure. Asuka.
But here's the thing, Asuka gladly drops the title to her every time. I think she's fine.
I don't know if gladly. I think she does it, and she's like, "Yes, I will."
They're cool. They're cool with each other.
I think they're cool with each other. Yeah,
they're really cool with each other. I think that I think Asuka has an easier time dropping the belt to her than like Bayley or Sasha would. They're gonna kill me.
But I agree. They're gonna kill me for that. No comment, but I agree.
They're gonna kill me for that.
No comment, but I agree. Cody Dre says Christian greater than Edge. As a fan of both, I'm very mixed emotions.
I'm gonna let you handle that.
Wow, because you don't care about Christian or Edge.
I like Edge. I think Edge has I say this every time. He has the worst punches in the business.
I think Christian is better in ring than Edge. Absolutely. By like a lot.
Absolutely.
But Edge is just so much on the promo, in the ring, telling stories. I think it just kind of depends. It's like, it's different. It's just, I don't know. They're just different. I would say, if I would say which I enjoy more, it's going to be Edge. I just do. But Christian, I enjoy a high level as well.
I'll follow your lead and say Edge too. I'll follow your lead. You're the Edgeologist. All
right, thank you. I appreciate it. I have his book, I don't know if people knew that, but I just have to say it every time. Next one comes from Donnie. I'm not sure if it's Donnie Lucci or just Donnie. I don't know if he's going on a first name basis now, but Donnie's if it is,
Donnie's he's an active member of our community.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shout out to Donnie. If Ali never got hurt, you would have lost to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35. Don't think that would have happened. Or never made it there. Okay, that's where it happened. They built Kofi Mania in 6 weeks, and I honestly don't believe the fans would have got excited or behind him like that. He's talking about more so Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that they gave his storyline to Kofi, and that's a lie. And Retribution's only menacing members Dijak once you take the mask off. That was mean. Okay.
That was fucked up. Can I go like behind the scenes, behind the curtain there for a sec?
Yeah, please. 3 years, yeah.
It was absolutely supposed to be Ali.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's got to be sick.
It was absolutely supposed to be him. I don't see how people would think anything of the contrary to that. I think that it's almost like, people say like the Lakers got an asterisk, right? And I think it's the same.
There's a Lakers hot take on this, by the way. So yes.
Oh God, but they're but they say that, but because they didn't face the Clippers, right? And
right.
People say, I think Cam says it best: you play who's in front of you. And I think that kind of goes ahead with wrestling as well. You have to use who is in front of you. And Kofi was there. He was the guy that, he was old faithful in that position when Ali got hurt. That concussion was just so ill-advised, but it was trending towards Ali. I don't know if people remember this, but Ali beat Daniel Bryan clean on TV. And that was what was going to be his big face moment, because they were pushing Ali at the moment. I don't see how anyone says, oh no, they were always going to go left to Ali, straight to Kofi. That doesn't even make sense to say. There was no through line there.
Listen, if Ali got the thing, we'd still be mad. Twitter would still be an uproar. No black champion. What is wrong with you? Et cetera, et cetera. So maybe Ali is the true savior of black Twitter.
He is.
Black wrestling Twitter.
He's the reason why we have nice things now. And then they saw that it was lucrative. But I'm pretty sure Ali. He seems like he's a pretty cool guy. He doesn't hold he doesn't hold a grudge towards whatever happened at that moment. But
Not yet.
It was absolutely supposed to be Ali, and that was absolutely supposed to be his moment. This was the first guy. Remember this, pals. He was the first guy from 205 to get called up to the main roster. How was it not him? and Daniel Bryan wanted me. Say what?
I said 205 doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, but I mean, how big was it at the moment? We were all there. Even on the show, we were like, "Yo, this is really dope to see him get this opportunity." And
you're right.
I don't see how you look the other way and say, yeah, it was supposed to be Kofi. No, it was absolutely supposed to be Ali.
Okay. His non-wrestling hot take was R&B has had a better 2020 than rap music.
I don't know if I listened to a lot of R&B this year. I'm just going to be clear with you.
I have, but I wouldn't say it's better than rap.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say so.
Bryson
Tiller. I wouldn't say a lot of music this year has been really that great either. Let's see. This one next one comes from Epo. It says, LAX should have never signed with All Incel Wrestling a year ago.
Wow.
They should have signed with NXT and could have been in one of the great feuds this year with Legado del Fantasma. Wow, that would have been amazing. It could have been
fire.
It could have been like those great boxing matches between Mexican and Puerto Rican fighters of the years past. That's not even counting the good to great matches they would have had, amassing Undisputed Era, War Raiders, Street Profits, and Mustache Mountain. Wow. If LAX signed to WWE.
How racist could they get? It depends. Like LAX, my enjoyment of LAX depends on how racist they can get.
As long as they can be real, it's as great as it is. But I think, honestly, AEW may be the best for them.
Well, they're not doing much of anything, right? Oh,
they got Jericho's Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. That sounds fucked up.
I mean, that's what he is. But, I mean, considering what Jericho reps.
Okay. All right. Listen, we got there. But yeah.
AEW is best for them because AEW needs a tag team division, and that's why they're good there.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, there's a level of, I guess, understanding. I don't know. I can't see such a radical Hispanic group in WWE without WWE wanting to kind of switch it around in a kind of way. Well, I don't know.
I can't see them being booked by Road Dogg. So let's just be glad that we have what we have with Legado del Fantasma and not having to have these white dudes, swerve around, racial epithets and things like that they're willing to do. So
I don't know if WWE knows how to book Puerto Ricans, except Carlito, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if they know what Puerto Ricans kind of are. Like they kind of like, aren't you like? I don't know. I don't want to say too much.
Oh my God.
Next one comes from Samson Gray. It says, Cesaro does not need a world title and will never get one. He's a Hall of Famer nonetheless. Now, do you feel like Cesaro does not need a world title?
Cesaro, WWE lifer, by By the way, let's just be clear. He ain't going nowhere.
100%. If he ain't left yet, he is here.
He's here. Does he need one? I don't think anyone needs one to be great, right?
He doesn't need one to be great.
Yeah.
But I think he deserves one.
Yeah, he deserves one. I think Kofi deserves one too. You know, Kofi deserved one as well. Like, even if that's Kofi's only one.
Wow. I knew you were going to say that too.
He definitely deserves.
I knew you were going to say that.
He definitely deserves.
Even though it was his only one, and you know,
but
one is one.
What would be the story of Cesaro? Like, it depends on the story of how epic that is. But yeah, Cesaro's definitely a Hall of Famer. He would be in the annals of like a Ted DiBiase, you know, of someone who might not have won the big one, but they made such an impact on how we perceive and view wrestling that they were just Hall of Fame off that. So like, yeah, I absolutely agree.
I agree. His non-wrestling hot take is blue cheese is the worst dip dressing ever. I 100% agree.
100% agree. It smells like feet. So
it smells terrible.
Yes.
Oh my god, I don't know how you people eat that thing.
My fiance loves blue cheese. We are not friends when we get wings.
All right. Next one comes from Jackson. It says, after Roman leaves the Fed in a couple of years for Hollywood, they should do everything in their power to sign Jacob Fatu from MLW to lead the bloodline because he is the future. I don't know Jacob Fatu. Is he the third Uso?
He's very, very good. I would suggest, I will send some stuff from of him to you. I think he's very good. Roman good. That is yet to be seen, but you know, WWE they keep the Samoan on him. They keep that
They keep it. Listen, the family there.
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time for him. His last name Fatu. It's only a matter of time.
I think that I mean, it's again, like you said, it's a matter of time. I've actually heard a lot of rumblings of him actually signing there. So I mean, I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So.
Okay. Next one comes from actually at Grandpa Chan, who you guys may know as one of the voices for the Rewriters Room.
Yes.
So,
what's up, Chan? Me and Chan had a connection.
I think so as well. We were draft buddies on the Rewriters Room, and we had a connection as well. I think we were both on the same wavelength. So
big fan of Chan. What's up, Chan?
Big fan. He says, now this is a hot take. Drew McIntyre is just Cesaro with full closure.
All right, we're gonna skip past this one. Why do we disrespect Drew McIntyre? I don't get it.
Why is it disrespect if he's Cesaro? With Cesaro that wins the WWE Championship, has a WrestleMania moment, and does all this other thing.
He don't do the big swing. I think Cesaro.
He ain't had the chance to. The man was rocking an invisible guitar for like 3 years.
I think Cesaro is a much better in-ring talent than Drew McIntyre. I think where Drew McIntyre wins is that he's like the perfect quintessential big man. But Cesaro,
I think they're both.
He can do everything. Cesaro can do everything.
I think Cesaro can do everything. It's weird of me saying that Cesaro is not as good on the mic as Drew, because I don't even think Drew's amazing either. Drew is definitely serviceable on the mic, but I don't even think Cesaro was there.
You know what? You know why Drew wins on the mic? Because he actually brings the crowd in. He brings the fans in. He'll look at the TV and be like, "You see this shit?" Like he'll actually like.
He do that too much. Point at Matthew McConaughey. What's wrong with you? I don't know if I agree with this, but I would like to see Cesaro win to have a Drew McIntyre moment, maybe in like 5 years.
Cesaro, listen, I don't want Cesaro to be the hill we die on.
The show, yeah.
Like
okay.
Like why?
He's the next one.
Okay.
Black people love him. White people love him. Listen, he's all around loved. Chan's non-wrestling hot take was anyone who puts ketchup on their food outside of French fries after the age of 17 should not be viewed as an adult by the rest of society.
Okay, there was a lot of there were a lot of qualifiers in that statement. So you're allowed to put ketchup on the food, but as long as you're under 17.
Yes.
But
if you're over 17, you're not an adult.
What do I put ketchup on directly? Probably
I put ketchup on fries. I put ketchup on burgers. I know people put ketchup on eggs.
I've actually stopped putting ketchup on my burgers. A burger should be good enough to live on its own with the sauces that you make for it, or
Okay. Okay.
the actual the spices and stuff that you use on it. I've actually not like if I get a burger or order one and it's on there, I'll eat it. But stuff I make, I rarely do. Like I made a Juicy Lucy the other week. I didn't put ketchup on
Of
it.
course.
But
RNC cooks.
it was good though.
Plug.
But I do ketchup on the side for my fries.
I put ketchup on my fries. I had this whole discussion with Jeff.
I don't want my fingers to get nasty. I don't want my fingers to get nasty.
Yeah, I mean, just you don't have to. It's not you're putting on the entire fucking thing. If you can maneuver around it, I don't know what to tell you. Like life is a lot harder than maneuvering on ketchup. Like, but it's this is what it is. I had this whole discussion with Jeff on the Lookout episode. It was so funny because I found out how picky Jeff was with food.
Oh, you guys are twins in that sense.
No, he is different. He is different. Listen to the episode. When I asked him about a burger, and he says, "I don't even like shit on my burger. Like I don't like nothing. No lettuce, no tomato, no nothing." Shout out to Jeff, by the way. Just shout out to Jeff. It's on episode 72 of the Lookout. It's not that far back. But yeah, that is funny. This next one comes from another one of the RNC Radio family. Comes from X.
Yay.
He says, "You know what's so funny? The back-to-back hot takes that we're gonna get. So maybe they were both in the same state of mind." So it's X. He says Sasha Banks is the greatest women's wrestler ever. Don't agree. Legitimately, just said Charlotte was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. No. Let's talk about why we don't think that.
I don't think she is because there's a level. I think she's a great technical in ring, but she has the presence isn't naturally there like Charlotte is. Okay. The presence isn't there. She's telling you what she is too much instead of it being like, oh, she's that bad bitch like Charlotte is.
Yeah, like, I think, and I think this could be true for everything. I think Sasha may have had the most influential women's match of all time, but Sasha may not be the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
I don't even think it's influential. I think it's a really great match, but I don't know if I don't know.
There are women. There are women.
Let's go back in 5 years.
There are women signed to NXT who got into wrestling because of that match.
Like Liv Morgan?
Nah, I don't think Liv Morgan. Nah, she was there during that.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was there.
My hot take about Liv Morgan.
Uh-oh.
Did you see her on the gram?
No.
She was practicing wrestling on the gram, and like legitimately, I don't know. She did 2 arm drags, and it took her like 20 minutes to get the arm drag out because she's jumping from rope to rope, from corner to corner, just to do an arm drag. And I'm like, okay, are you like a luchador? Like, are you including that in your style? I don't know. I don't like it. Make it make sense.
I ain't never seen her.
If you're doing the moves, if you're doing the moves, make it make sense. And X's non-wrestling hot take is T.I. is greater than Wayne, Gucci, and Jeezy. Wow.
Oh man, X. Yeah, I gotta get you out of Chicago, bud.
Oh my God.
You gotta go to another. You gotta go to another state, another city, bro.
So this is so funny because legitimately the next take comes. I don't know if they're in the same state of mind, but these were submitted like 20 minutes apart. Comes from Coach, aka Middle Initial T, aka the Undisputed Hater Pod, that he hosts alongside Douglas and Banks.
He wanted to kill me one day. He wanted to kill me at one time.
We've all come a long way. I would like to move past the threats that remain on the internet because I think we've all come to a much better place, and I hope Sasha Banks and Booker T can come to the same place that you guys have. He says Sasha Banks is extremely overrated, and she peaked with the Iron Woman match versus Bayley. Her character stinks, and she can cut a promo. Great in-ring competitor, though. Wow.
Let me just go all the way out here. I don't think she's most overrated.
I don't think she's overrated at all.
There are aspects of her that is, obviously, but that's with any wrestler, in the business.
I think it's more so it's because of the fans who overrate her.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because of her, because she doesn't. she's just doing her. It's the fans who are like, oh my god,
I got a
she's the
counter
bee's
hot take.
knees.
I got a counter hot take to get away from the Sasha Banks
Ooh.
thing real quick.
Okay.
Bianca Belair is probably going to be better than Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, if done right,
Hmm.
she'll probably be better than Sasha Banks.
She has to. I'll say what she has to improve on, Bianca Belair, because we all sing the praises of Bianca Belair, and she is amazing. What she has to improve on is the same thing Naomi has to improve on in the ring, and the same thing that Liv has to improve on the ring, and the same thing that Dana Brooke has to improve on the ring, and the same thing that Mandy and a whole bunch of other people. There's only an elite class of people who get this. If you cannot tell a story in the ring, your matches will not get over. That's just it. If you cannot tell a story, if you can't make it make sense in the ring, you will not get, your matches will not be known as, you'll have a great match here and there, but you won't be known as a great in-ring competitor.
I think
You have
because
to tell a story.
because she's so good at everything else, and she has told the story, the Shayna match.
Oh yeah, she has a told story.
She's done
Why
it.
am I disregarding NXT? Oh
Yeah.
my god, she definitely does. I'm bugging. I
She's
know
done
I'm
it.
bugging.
I think my homework really for in me saying that, now that I mention it, I'm gonna go back and rewatch that because she had us on the edge of our seats because
I think because we all wanted her to win. Yeah.
she would not remember the story. She would not give up. She would not give up. She would not tap out. That was a great story.
Did.
And then she did. Not did she knocked her out, or did she tap out? I feel like she fell asleep. She got snoozed.
Yeah, maybe. Let's rewatch that.
Okay.
The next one comes from Antonio Salgado. It
Hey,
says,
what's going on, bud?
yeah, what's up, bro? The Miz's WWE tenure will be more memorable than one CM Punk when it's all said and done. I didn't submit this. I didn't submit this at all. I didn't tell him to submit this. I didn't do anything for this, but I agree. Don't cricket. Will The Miz be more memorable than CM Punk? I actually think that's a great thing, and I'm not sure if it's true.
What, more memorable?
Yeah.
No.
CM Punk.
He defined an
thing.
era. He defined an era.
Yeah. I remember, the bad thing about CM Punk is because of the things that he said, his legacy will depreciate over time because social media will determine that his legacy depreciated over time.
Yeah.
But he defined an era. He 100% brought a wave of people back into wrestling. He was huge. As much as the Miz stan that I am, I cannot agree with this statement.
I love it.
You heard it here. 3 years.
I think we have another CM Punk take from one of our friends. You have that one? Can you cue that one, or you want me to cue it?
Let me see if I can get it at the same time. You know what? You cue it. I'm not sure if I have it.
All right. This comes to us from Emilio Sparks over at Wrestle Rap, our good friend.
Ooh, yes.
At Wrestle Rap. He says that he believes the pipe bomb is hella overrated. It was a well done work that did not shift the momentum of the WWE.
A lot of people are gonna say that's a hot take. If you're like 9 years old or something.
Right. Let's just say it. I can we just be
depreciated
clear?
over time?
Yeah,
that's definitely depreciated. Yeah,
it has.
It's not as good as it was.
There's even rumors. There's even rumors that it was not off the cuff. Let's just be real. Let's be real.
That's the pot with the tea. That's
I've heard it.
Right now. I don't want to say.
I've heard it.
Listen.
Hey, I've heard things. I've heard things. I heard it was written.
Hashtag written. Wow.
Yeah,
Ghost written.
If you listen to the pod, like listen, he helped write that. Someone else helped. Like honestly, like you believe Vince was just like go out there and say whatever? You thought he was that cold? Come on.
Man. Antonio's non-wrestling hot take was Drake. Drake is top 2 and probably not 2. Not only is he probably not 2, he definitely is not 2.
Yeah, he is 100% not 2. And every single year that goes by solidifies him as number 1. I think it's going to get to a point where he's going to be like number 1, of all time. Like you start putting him. Like I don't want to sound. It sounds like super blasphemous to say this, but like you start to get to a level where you become like the MJ of whatever era you are, and he absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Next one comes from our friend Caleb Catlin. I have to say that because I fucked up his name and I listened to the War Report episode and he definitely said I fucked up his name. And Cyrus also said I fucked up his name. And none was always like, oh, it happens all the time. They're like, no, fucked up my name. Caleb, I'm not fucking up your name this time. Um, he says Kyle O'Reilly has Daniel Bryan levels of potential as a solo act, and it only took one match to get that out of him. People used to say that it was Johnny Gargano, but the Triple H booking of him with Ciampa has irreparably stained his image as a great babyface. If we're being totally honest with ourselves, his babyface work peaked with Andrade, and his recent heel work is the most refreshing thing that has been since that era. Kyle O'Reilly can be that top babyface if guided into the right direction.
I
agree.
I agree, but there's certain things I want to pick apart. We gotta remember, and I know that hindsight is again 2020, and I know people probably won't agree, and they'll probably be like, "No, you can't say that. You're making excuses." A lot of things did not shake out correctly in the Gargano thing. We can be honest there. Looking back, Alistair getting injured was not supposed to be the thing that extended this feud past what they did, and then they did it again, and that's something I can't excuse for when they did it again. I'm not gonna excuse that because again, you get diminishing returns.
I'm not excusing them deciding to do it again this year.
I'm not excusing that. Absolutely not. That was unexcusable. But I do say that there were a lot of things. We're not going to say in 2020 and sit here and say that wasn't the hottest feud that was going of the summer, because it absolutely was. It wasn't Andrade because he left. It was Johnny Gargano being a great baby face that people actually tuned in to weekly NXT. That is something I cannot say right now. For anyone, including Kyle O'Reilly, they are not tuning in to watch him. They were tuning in to see what Johnny Gargano was going to do next. And these are shows that were taped. Let's be clear. we were waiting to see when he would come back and when Ciampa would come back. And when he came back, everyone was talking about it. That was the hottest, one of the hottest feuds up there with Omega Okada of our era. I'm not going to sit here and say Johnny Gargano, he's diluted. He is not diluted. He was at one point one of the top baby faces in wrestling. He absolutely was. After that Brooklyn match, you can go however you want to go. But for those 6 months, 7 months, he absolutely was.
Well, I'm going to say that because I don't really like him as much right now. And I didn't like all those long-ass matches. I liked everything before us. So you know what, Caleb? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with that hot take. That was a wow. I'm going to move on. Let's see. Oh, we got one from Cyrus, and the visibilities is greater than the Beatles.
Oh, wow. Got more hits, too.
Well, people were right about Raw's Underground lifespan, but I think Raw Underground had a good run until Aleister Black got his ass mopped by Kevin Owens. If they didn't do that weird non-finish and actually did the blow-off on Raw Underground, I think it would still be here today. Raw Underground isn't here because of COVID.
Raw,
not that it was bad or anything.
Blame the NXT stag party, anti-COVID stag party for that. Like,
probably hookah with the same tip. I don't even know. Like, come on. Like, that's the reason why Raw Underground was here. I will say Raw Underground lifespan was slowly thinging because it had no actual story to it.
Yeah, it had no, and it also had like
there was no direction.
It also had people
that kept happening.
It had people that we didn't care about on there, like Dabba Kato, who got drafted, by the way. I do not give a shit about. Well, not even Braun. I mean, Braun was the champion at the time that it started. But
Braun wasn't the champion. Nah,
when it started,
he was showing up there with his green ass shirt.
When it started, Meelz, he was the champion.
Okay.
When it started, I'm
saying he didn't need to be on the show.
Just let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
They didn't introduce these people correctly. That's why we didn't care. Dabba Kato didn't care. Arturo Ruiz didn't care. Riddick fucking Moss absolutely did not care. And these were the focal points every single week. And then you had Dolph Ziggler show up, and he was there every week. You know, like it just didn't have the vibe of something that after like week 3 that we should care about. And then Braun showed up, and that's when we were like, okay, the shark has jumped. I don't know if the Alistair thing was the straw that broke the camel's back, because it was wedged in between a whole bunch of shit that had already happened on that episode anyway. Like, I remember that episode and being like that felt inconsequential and completely useless and needless in my opinion.
You know what? I want to applaud everyone thus far with these hot takes. There's not been an immense amount of AEW hate yet. I'm sure it's coming, but there hasn't been yet. And you know what? I can applaud. Maybe we're all changing. Maybe we are. This next one comes from Amber, the Tweeples Champion 87 on Twitter. Shout out to you, Amber.
What's going on, Amber?
Alexa Bliss is the T Swift of the WWE, Taylor Swift, if for the grown people who don't know. Seems to get more praise than people who deserve it at times. She thinks she's great like Asuka or the Four Horsewomen, but she's not. Every time she talks, I want Sasha to come take her mic on some Kanye shit. Is Alexa Bliss, I'm assuming she says Alexa Bliss is 100% overrated. Is she overrated?
I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say that.
She's a good hand.
She's rated. I think Alexa's rated.
She's rated. I don't want to see her in a lot of things, but I'm not even going to lie. Anything that they give her, she seems to be moderately serviceable in. I would say in the ring, she doesn't even attempt to wow. Like, there's not even an evolution of moveset, but she will probably last longer than a lot of people because of that.
You know why else? You know why else she's gonna last longer? Because she can talk.
Why?
She can talk.
Yeah, that's true.
She is killing it in this new role. She absolutely is. I thought that the Randy Orton segment on Raw with her.
Did they do something with her teeth?
No, not that I know. Not that I noticed. No.
It wasn't looking so fresh. I'll just say that.
Oh my God! See, I didn't say that, ladies.
But listen, I thought it was part of the gimmick. I was like, what? Teeth are a little. They don't look white and sparkly like on the.
But I maybe it's all the coffee. Probably the coffee.
Oh yeah, you're right. She got coffee teeth. Ew, that's unattractive.
I think. Oh my God! I think that one thing I will say, and this is another reverse hot take. I'll spin it back on you guys. I think she's a better talker than Sasha. Just to be clear. I prefer.
Amber, let us know what you think.
She's gonna kill me. Amber's always.
Feel free to send a gift. Feel free to send a gift, please.
She's gonna kill me. She's definitely gonna kill me.
Kenny at KJ Brophy says maybe it's recency bias, but Michael Cole greater than Jim Ross.
Well, they have never embarrassed Michael Cole to that level that they have.
Nah. Michael Cole don't take that shit. Well, nah, he got F5'd out of his fucking shoes.
He was younger. He was younger though.
Nah, that was like 5 years ago.
But I mean, like, I'm sorry, not specifically the F5 thing, but I mean, like when the Rock was messing with his frosted tips.
They used to. He got beat up by China. I remember that specifically. I remember there was a whole SmackDown where he got his ass whooped by China. Maybe that was Jim Ross. I don't remember. Did Jim Ross get ever beat up by China? Maybe.
No, but I mean, if they did, he for sure did. DX used to whip his ass all the time.
Niggas used to whip Jim Ross ass all the time. It was set that clock and like we're in Oklahoma. Pen some Jim Ross shit. Make him kiss my butt.
They was in Oklahoma and they were waiting outside Vince's office like the PS5 was coming out to be in a segment with this guy beating his ass.
Oh my God, Stone Cold beat his ass. They had Stone Cold who doesn't hold back punches.
He was set on fire. They set him on fire.
I don't even think this is what Kenny is referencing. Is Michael Cole a better commentator than Jim Ross?
Michael Cole gets across what they need for him to get across on that show. The X's and O's of WWE is branding and getting over their messaging. And he does it better than anyone else. I think when the E started going less towards the play-by-play type thing and more towards the branding side of things, that's where JR
less wrestling.
Yeah, that's when JR started slipping up. I think, in a lot of ways the game has passed him by. Like, look at what New Japan did, what he did with New Japan, look at what he does with AEW today. The game has passed him by. It's a faster game. It's a young man's game. He wants people to slow it down. They're just not going to do it. There are very few people that do that. But when you need someone to get emotion, and be emotional and get over that side of the business, he can do that. But for what Michael Cole is paid to
and
do,
Michael Cole isn't as good as that. I'll be honest with you.
he's not.
The whole WrestleMania thing. I think WrestleMania 30 is his worst call of all. Like one of the worst calls.
But then you turn it around. But then you turn it around with some of his best calls. I mean, Beast in the East was a really great show for him. I thought that he did a great job during the was it the CWC or the UK tournament? I thought he did I think it was a UK tournament. He did a great job there. Like he's shown that he can do the play-by-play, you know, the way that we want him to. But as far as him doing what Vince needs him to do, he is absolutely the best at that. So if I was to say like best WWE centric commentator, absolutely he is.
Okay, all right. Next one comes from John Brandon _IM. He says Roman Reigns will be done with wrestling in 2 years, and in Hollywood, Dwayne, give it 3. I agree.
Yeah. Is this not his acting reel? Is this not his show reel right here? What he's doing currently?
I mean, you need another role, and not in like no WWE film. You need like a other type of film. But we'll see. I agree though. He's not here for long.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't in a movie after COVID clears up and that Rock wasn't putting him in more roles. Like if Rock has tapped into DC, I would expect Roman to be part of that as well. When COVID wraps up and he can get free of a lot of.
So WrestleMania weekend, he's not doing press. He's going to be doing, auditions. That's what he's going to be doing.
Turn up.
Next one comes from Tony Styles. It says, "Please don't talk to me about how great a heel MJF is after that bullshit musical number with him and Gravy Lee Ross." Wow.
There we go. There we go. You were waiting.
There it was. It was.
I personally never thought MJF. I call him MGF on Clubhouse the other day, but I never thought MJF was the greatest heel of all time. I think that even within his own company, he's not the best heel there. I mean,
no,
it's just the truth.
He's a little sawed off, onion, little twerp. That's what he is. He's not heel. I don't like when people say great heel because you hate him. That's not why I hate him.
Yeah,
I don't hate him because he's a good heel. I hate him because
he's not
just
great.
as look. Have you seen him? Yeah, have you seen him? Like, look at him.
He don't go in the ring either. He doesn't do it for me in the ring.
Don't. I know they're building up this Jericho match eventually, but
it's built. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a spoiler, but it's built. But yeah, it's supposed to be happening.
All right. If you want to hear J5 talk about that musical, you can definitely listen to the War Report. Where he'll definitely talk about it. And his non-wrestling hot take is Excalibur and Papa Buck are playing COD online. Who says the N-word first? Wow.
Oh man, Papa Buck says it first.
Tom Tucker. Deonna Purrazzo is basically Natty with black hair.
Wow.
Yes, she can wrestle and her booty fat. Check IG. But she got charisma of a lawn chair, fam. Wow.
The check IG is fucking wild. That is the wildest hot take.
My hot take is like, yo, Deonna, first of all, she won the championship. Ain't have a contract. She finally gets the contract and loses the championship. That's hustling backwards. It just is.
Wait, she lost?
She lost to Su Yung at Bound for Glory.
Oh my God.
That is hustling backwards. You got Sting's agent or something along those lines.
How don't you get a clause that says I can't drop this until 2021?
She lost it. I don't know if she ain't signed. Maybe the internet was lying or something along those lines. But she won it. She lost it. I saw her match against whatever match that she wanted. It wasn't really that impressive, to be honest.
Bro, I've been waiting to see what the impressive Deonna Purrazzo stuff.
Yeah,
is.
give me the Deonna Purrazzo reel, Tom Tucker.
Yeah.
Give me
the highlight reel. Her booty fat is a crazy bar though. I don't even know if I'm gonna
listen. Not lying. At work, lurk and chill. We know Undertaker will be involved in Survivor Series in some way. So why not let the Fiend give the Fiend the ultimate rub and let him put down Taker in his final send off? I feel like Undertaker don't really fuck with the Fiend.
Yeah, I don't. It's too much. Again, too much.
Don't ask me. I'm just getting a vibe because I feel like he would have done it already.
Yeah, too much Gaga, too much like
Yeah,
BS there. I
yeah,
think
that's what I think so too.
if we were to see Taker just seems like he's done. I mean, if he shows up, it might be for a choke slam, but he just seems like he's done with like in ring stuff. So let that man go.
Yeah, you got a full contract to the network now. Apparently,
What I will say, other than me liking, the actual stories he's given, because I mean, the thing is, I don't get tired of Taker telling stories now because it just seems as though he has so many of them, or we know that he has so many of them, and we've never heard him before. But I really like the Untold with him and Orton. I thought that was spectacular.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. That was
spectacular.
Amazing. Watch that.
And the thing is, Meelz, he has so many more of those with so many other people. So like, there's a whole suite of things that he could be a part of now. But other than that, I do love the way that the WWE has given him his send off this year. I think that is one of the most respectful, really cool things that they've done. Not just with the documentary, not just with the Mania match, just all throughout. And I think that this is no different.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get through a lot more of these. Former WWE turned AEW stars should put over their talent more into interviews instead of talking about where they used to work. Mentioning a job who moved your picture to alumni every chance you get is corny, fam. And tell your job to hire some black people since you got a mic in your face. What? I'm just gonna. I don't know the last part, but I'm going to agree with the first part.
That's deep.
But yeah, I mean, everyone should just move on from talking about the WWE. Next one comes from John. Shout out to John. Whoever you are, John is such a thing name, but I hope it's our John. Rap is not like wrestling, WWE wrestling, and rap legends get pushed aside when they don't have it anymore. You hear that new Locks album? Snoop new shit? Exactly. Wrestling keeps their legends around way too long. Taker, Hardy, both, but especially Matt. Mysterious? I think you have to say Mysterio. Yeah. Etc. Imagine if Twista was blown up after rapping the first 8 bars of slow jams. It's okay to let the old heads sit down. They need to be anyway. That is funny. That's just funny.
I mean, just to just to be literal here, I think the issue with that comparison in that way, like, he's absolutely right. But I think that the issue with that is that the commodity, the actual social currency is the fact that their stars are physically there. And in rap, you don't necessarily like need that, like, because even still, Twista still puts out music, But when their time is over, the fans move on. In wrestling, there's a nostalgia moment where the actual currency is them being there.
Right. I think there's a role. I think there's definitely a role of like an exhibition type of thing, like a Trish Stratus sort of thing, right? Like Trish Stratus puts over Charlotte Flair, but Trish Stratus is not like contending for the women's championship, nor does she want to.
Yeah.
So I think there's a role for all the old people. Next one comes from, I said it. I see the reason they call that other show AEW, quote unquote, dark. All inclusive though. Yay.
Yikes.
I don't even know.
Yikes.
Next one comes from Jay Mysterio. You left 5 hot takes. I'm going to choose one because there's still a lot. We got a lot to get through, but you have 5 hot takes. I support you, Jay Mysterio. You have 5. Let's see. I'm going to choose one. Actually, let's choose the last one. It says not a hot take, but a question.
Okay.
Since Bryan has recently stated on Talking Smack that this might be his last run with the company, and it sure does feel like his career is winding down, who would you have retire him?
Ooh. Wow.
Who
has that history with him? I honestly think he'd be weird and pick Orton.
I think he would pick Orton too.
Yeah, I think he would pick Orton. Orton was part of. Orton was very instrumental in helping him get over that year. He really was.
Yeah, including that WrestleMania moment
Yep.
that he hasn't actually got his win back or his rematch or
Mm-hmm.
anything of the rather. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say Randy Orton. Yeah, for sure.
And here's the thing:
Um,
people love the old versus the new send off. That very rarely happens in wrestling for a lot of reasons.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I I expect people to be pissed if it's Orton, but I think it would be the perfect send off, and I think they'd have a great match.
All right. Next one comes from Deadstock Dev.
Hey, what's up,
Uh,
Deb?
says when it's all said and done, the Retribution run might be worse than the Job Squad run. Wow.
Say, well, wait.
Maybe the Retribution run might be worse than the JOB Squad, the Job Squad run.
we getting there. They lost on
Again,
Raw for no reason. Ali pulled out
they
that
just
chair for no reason.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And his non-wrestling hot take is Welch's has the best grape juice known to man. I agree.
I agree.
Uh, next one comes from Slat McAfee. Uh, Twitter should stop trying to book everyone black in the Hurt Business because the more people in the group, the harder it is to make the group meaningful.
What's
Is
that
everyone
mean?
trying to book everyone? I mean, I think they maybe because they were trying to book like Ricochet into the group or put Apollo into the group or something along those lines. I don't think the Hurt Business would be less meaningful with
With more black people.
yeah, I think they'd be less meaningful if they didn't give them anything notable to do for 16 weeks and had them beating up the same person.
Yeah, I think they look pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, Bobby's good. They're good with Bobby. Bobby wins.
Yeah,
That's just it.
oh shit. Well, other than Cedric, they all win
Yeah,
essentially. So I mean,
I mean, other than I don't know Shelton, but you know.
Shelton wins the 24/7 title a lot.
Okay, all right. The clubhouse that was so funny. Man says Shelton's suit is struggling. I was weak.
Why was
I
the
was
suit?
weak.
He had the Drake laugh now cry later suit on draft day. Suit.
Oh my God, he says this suit is struggling. Next one comes from Donnell. It says Elias is a better artist than Chris Jericho, and his new track "Amen" slaps. Okay,
It does. It really does. I get it.
let's give her.
It goes.
Go ahead.
It goes,
No,
bro. I
let's give
go
her a
in.
review. Let's give her a review of this. Quick review. Quick review.
It's 4 songs.
I
I
would.
thought it was like 12.
Yeah, I like the opening track.
That's his theme song
I
now.
heard it on Raw.
That is his theme.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'd listen to this again though.
I liked Amazing Grace, even though it is literally, it's
It
literally
is a bad cover of Amazing Grace. There's so many better Amazing Graces in the world.
for him it works. It bangs. Listen,
Did this seem kind of pseudo Christian to you?
it did.
Like,
It did. And the thing about it is that I think it's a lot better than like. I think Elias is not given enough credit for just how into this character that he is. And
yeah.
it was my one issue with Seth Rollins.
It actually. No, go ahead.
It was my one issue with Seth Rollins' Messiah character that I've always said is that he never went full Jerry Falwell with it.
But Elias might be different. He might be. I'm scared he's too into the character now. I want to know who the real person is. I don't want it to be, and then he has some sort of personality crisis. You know what I'm saying? Also, I don't think any of these songs are better than that Judas song that everyone sings at all the AEW shows. I can't even lie. Judas kind of slaps.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Busby.
Hey, what's up, Busby?
He says Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks are the next two superstars to cross over to Hollywood.
Roman, yes. Sasha, why are we judging the Mandalorian off that?
I don't know. Maybe she's looking for roles. Maybe that's a.
I just don't know why we think that she like how we don't even know what the role is yet.
This is true. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. I don't think she seems to love wrestling too much to be worried about acting, in my opinion. But I don't know. She maybe want to be the boss. I don't know. Next one comes from Hot Pink Sheets. Shout out to Hot Pink Sheets. With the exception of Moxley, there is no WWE transplant that AEW has elevated. Miro's in the same spot. he was when he left WWE. Brody's in the same spot when he left WWE. Peyton Royce's husband is in the same spot when he left WWE. Ditto Cardona. AEW has nothing for these guys, and it'll be safe when FTR are back to doing nothing after back to doing comedy matches after they drop the belts. Um, I think they have been. I mean, certain ones have been elevated, but
Ooh,
I'd just say Moxley,
yeah, exactly.
and he just said with the exception.
Yeah, like Moxley came in.
Miro, I would say let's wait for it, but I'm a Miro mark, so
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know, bud. After the here and Cyrus he posed this question when I was on the War Report. What is this show without the Elite? Because that's a real question. If Cody's not there, if the Bucks aren't there, if Kenny's not there, if Jericho's not there, who have they built to be ratings gainers and winners other than maybe Orange Cassidy, who got it in on his own without them?
You might be right.
There really isn't many people other than the Elite, other than Moxley and maybe Cassidy, that could do that. They haven't built them up enough. Darby Allin
Right.
was one guy that they had a lot for, and he's still getting beat. And then you have Sammy Guevara, who's still getting beat by a 48-year-old Matt Hardy.
Well, I'll stretch this into the next hot take, which is submitted by Stack Guy Greg. He says, "AEW no longer is." I think he still has more to contribute, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Jericho has nothing to contribute past.
But he has nothing to contribute to the world of wrestling anymore. I think I can't even say anymore. It's a hot take, but it might be a right one.
They still listen. They needed Jericho to be that first champion. They needed him to be the first champion.
Absolutely.
I'll forever defend their. I don't think he should have beat Kenny, but I think that he should have been the. No, he didn't beat Kenny. He beat Kenny, right? To win the title.
He beat the
Page.
Cowboy.
He beat Page. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, so they did the good thing there. But I think that again, like they needed him to get them through that first year until Moxley was ready, and they did it. And I think Jericho again takes up way too much time. Like from what I watched last week, he takes up way too much time on that show. Way too much.
I agree. And his non-wrestling hot take is Milky Way gets too much hate, same as candy corn. First of all, you lost me.
I don't
Candy
hate
corn
candy.
is terrible.
I don't hate candy corn. It's not something I would go out. I wouldn't go out and buy it. I think when I was like a kid, it was something I would just eat because I would just eat any candy. It's not the first thing I go out and buy, but I feel like candy corn has just gotten this like crazy reaction on the internet.
Candy corn is terrible. That's why it is.
I mean, to you,
just,
I mean, again, not all
to
opinions.
most.
Not all opinions are created equal. If we were to look at a poll, I don't know if it would be as close as you think, or as far ahead as you think.
I'm gonna Google it and see what the polls say.
Okay.
Let's see. Actually, let's begin to speed round through a lot of these things.
Okay.
And sorry for a lot of you people who submitted this one. It's just show's going long, things to do, etc., etc. Next one says Asuka's reign has been boring, respectfully, by Beatrot. Have you seen Raw?
Yeah, there ain't much to work with there. I think.
Yeah.
I think the key to that reign and the reign she's had so far is the fact that she was embroiled in a feud with Sasha and Bailey, and it was the hottest thing on the show for a whole summer.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not mad at Asuka taking a break right now.
Yeah, a lot of the top gals are not on Raw or not active right now, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, she's gonna have a lot to work with the whole Mandy, Dana Brooke, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Lana, Peyton Royce, whoever the hell is left in that division, Nikki Cross type of thing. So we'll see. Next one comes from Jones World. He says Roman and Jay had the best I Quit match of all time. I'll be honest with you, can't remember a lot of I Quit matches off my head.
Rock and Mankind. That wasn't a match though. That was just like
that was slaughter.
That was a public beating. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'll agree with you. I can't remember a lot off my head right now, but I'll agree with you. Next one comes from Omar. Says Braun Strowman was the worst WWE World Champion of the modern era. He's had no good or memorable matches.
He was a Universal Champion.
He was Universal Champion, worst champion of the era. His promos are always awful, sounding nervous as fuck, and like he was in a junior high school play. Nothing progressed during it or held any significant impact. Somehow he regressed in everything. If you took him off the record books, nothing would change. So bad it wouldn't even be remembered from a year from now. Please never again. Even Otis would have had a better run.
Oh. I'll agree
I
he was
do
terrible.
agree.
He made SmackDown
Yeah.
unwatchable.
Yeah, I agree that he served no impact and influenced nothing on the actual show. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Um, Donnie, I'm gonna skip yours because you had one already. Omar, I'm gonna skip one because you had your already. But I appreciate you guys submitting multiple hot takes. I appreciate everyone who submitted multiple hot takes, but we're gonna skip yours because we got y'all already. Douglas Christ, shout out to Douglas Christ, Brandon Duggar. He says, "Fellas, happy anniversary to you both. I wanted to remind the world that Cody is nothing but a C-grade Shane McMahon cosplay. But also, do you ever think that Kenny Omega would ask out of his deal to go to NXT, WWE, or even to Japan? It seems like he's not doing much on AEW. I'm going to say no."
No, not early. No, he's got 2 more years.
Yeah, but I don't even think he'd leave after that.
We'll see. I think that
It wouldn't be the same.
we'll see. We'll see.
It would be like Sting showing up while like 20 years later.
Meelz.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think that it's dependent on how they do this next storyline. If you're catching my wave.
There's a wave that you're throwing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's depending on. There have been a lot of things with Kenny that like I think you can kind of see, but some people are choosing not to see with how the way that they position him. And I think that he's been a great ring general, and he's been a great shepherd to actually come out of his singles role and be a tag team and do that for a full year. I think that's been something that we should commend him for, even if we don't like it. But I think that right now it depends on how they write this story with him being the cleaner again. Depends on how much this Kenny Omega run can go in AEW. Because the thing is, I still feel like they have not positioned him the best. And that's what I'll say.
I agree. And I feel like we both have things going on in the background of this, which as well.
It's the neighborhood I'm in. It's always some shit going on.
Same here. Let's go in. Next one comes from Entangled Web. It said the Hurt Business will have all the belts by the end of 2021. Wow, you're generous by giving them the end of 2021. Lashley is Universal. New Day rules tag team champions. Wow, so you said New Day is going to join the Hurt Business? Interesting. Can't see it happening. And Seti as U.S. champion. Doubt it.
Hell no, man.
Big doubt. Entangled Web also, it's non-wrestling hot take, says the Lakers will lose in the first round to the Warriors next season.
No. Absolutely.
How the hell are the Lakers and Warriors going to be in the first round?
Yeah, like absolutely. That's not even going to be like, you're looking at a team that's probably going to be first again next year, first seed again, against the Warriors team that will probably be second or third.
Second to third.
Yeah. It's just impossible. I do think it does come down to those two, no matter what people say about the Clippers. But
there's a lot of good. I mean, it's not even the Clippers, the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets is another team that's like coming out and could actually be a problem for anyone in the first round. Also Dallas. I mean, if they decide to burn Porzingis like I have. Let's see. Next one comes from Ty. They need to end this retribution shit before everyone ruins it. It started bad from the jump, but they gave it new life without lead. But with how they're booking it right now, it's time to pull the plug. Justin masks them, be done with it. Send Maya straight to the women's division. Put Thorne and Dijak in the tag team. Have Dio do whatever the hell he was doing before this, which was nothing. And send Ali to NXT to challenge Escobar. Wow.
Nah, don't send Ali to NXT. I'm actually very shocked that they don't have Retribution doing other things that would define their own characters individually. Like, why are Mace and Slapjack not going after the tag titles? Why is T-Bar not going after the U.S. title? Why is Mia not in the women's division? They could definitely use her. She's just standing around being a valet. It's very weird what they're doing with them, and it goes into the fact that they need to just end this shit already.
I agree. And just bad storytelling overall. Next one comes from Clay. It says Raw is the C show, NXT is the B show, and SmackDown is the A show. Last night's show made it more obvious to me now. Raw is not appointment viewing going forward until the next draft, and we don't even know what that's going to be.
It's a rough couple weeks for Raw. It absolutely
I'd say it's going to be. I'd say keep it on your DVR until about Mania time.
Yeah.
Until about Royal Rumble time. How about that?
Raw always lags until around January. This is the moment where they lag. It just so happens the draft kind of coincides with this. We've really bit off more than we could chew with these hot takes. I gotta shout out everyone sending these hot takes.
Oh yeah. We got a few more. JT, if you're the actual JT, thank you. Thank you for submitting a hot take. But if you're the other JT, thank you for submitting a hot take. The Rock will win the Royal Rumble for a second time. Wow. That is a hot take.
He don't have to.
It's not possible though.
He don't have to win no damn Royal Rumble to get a title.
He wins the Royal Rumble. He wins the Royal Rumble. So many more eyes. So many more things. Suddenly the Royal Rumble is must view.
In an empty arena?
And is there any... I feel like they're going to try to have people for the Royal Rumble. Don't quote me on that. We have to see post Amboy Center plans, which is apparently coming up because NBA wants to start, so they're like, get the fuck out of my arena. His non-wrestling hot takes is cherry tomatoes are gross. I said that because I agreed. Cherry tomatoes are different.
Are they being cooked in something?
No, they're just part of a salad.
Oh, well, I don't agree because if you cook them in something, they're not. I make a really great tomato broth with cherry tomatoes.
I agree.
Spectacular.
Jay Mysterio, you submitted 5 more hot takes. I want to say shout out to you because you submitted 10 hot takes. We could do an entire show on just the hot takes that you submitted, but we won't be able to get to it on this thing. But I appreciate you. That's what I want.
We'll save those.
Lucas H says AEW has been around for more than a year and they have nothing to offer different than WWE. They have nothing to offer that WWE. Sorry, let me read this again. AEW has been around for more than a year. There is nothing they have to offer that WWE already has other than ex-employees and the elite. Shit gonna be spooky when the core starts to get old.
Well, I said they got another year with that core before it starts to get iffy. They have a like the E is kind of like or the AEW they're raw like their top guys undoubtedly for that audience is like the KD Warriors team. Undoubtedly.
I agree.
Like they love those guys. And you got to remember they don't even have crowds back yet. So you got to give them another year to truly congeal. They're working in COVID conditions right now. Like come on.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
That shtick won't get old for a minute unless they do something completely stupid, which honestly at this point, this is my hot take, giving Cody the AEW title would be that stupid thing.
I think they've been tiptoeing around it because they see, but I know they're going to do it eventually.
That's when the shark's going to jump. Because then you got to blow it up.
Yeah. Then you get angry employees, which I think they are going to actually be. As cool as the cool boss that Cody is with his blonde hair and his like black wife and all this other shit like that.
Gotta mention the black
wife. She's gonna get spooky real soon once we start hearing reports. Oh, did we ever get a shout out to Tino Sabatelli for doing the Lord's work?
Oh yeah, solid snake. Solid snake.
Let's get to the last one. Shout out to Cinvidius, who actually won a Royal Rumble thing before and was on the show before. So shout out to you, continued listener. Oh, actually, it's not the last one, but you know what? You're close to the last one.
It's the last one.
If we're talking Mount Rushmores, we're top 10 of all time, or any of GOAT conversations, Randy Orton has surpassed John Cena. My guy, no.
Don't even finish that.
No, it was done. I'm sorry, but no. Randy Orton has not passed John Cena. Randy Orton will never pass John Cena.
Impact. You got to talk impact. Listen, man, I'm a lot softer on Randy Orton than most. I appreciate Randy Orton more than most. Be clear. he ain't touching Cena in any way, shape, or form on the mic. People just started saying Randy Orton had good promos this year.
And that's because John Cena ain't around.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even think this year. I think Roman came back and kind of washed him too. Promo wise,
I won't say washed because Randy Orton has been doing a great job. I want to give him that. He's been doing a great job, so I don't want to demean him with this conversation.
Okay.
But Sinvidius, you brought it up, and I just don't agree. I really don't agree.
Sorry, bud. Sorry, man. We can't do that.
Yeah.
We gotta kick you. We gotta kick you out of the club for that.
That's it. I'm gonna say that's it.
All right.
Thank you everybody for submitting. If you got to submit, thank you to everybody. Legitimately, 3 years. It's been probably one of our longest shows ever.
No, our episode of 100 was pretty long.
Oh yeah.
It was like 2 hours.
It's hard to remember 100 when you want 150 subs.
You feel me? 200. It was 245. I think it was a 100 episode. I don't think episode 200 is going to be that long, but it was definitely a long episode.
Yeah. And remember, we filmed it in different locations and different times.
Oh my God, we did episode 200 over the course of 3 weeks.
200
or 100. We did 100 over the course of 2 weeks. And Meelz, you were not available for any of the interviews.
Hey, listen, I don't even think I was 100. No, that wasn't 100. It was episode 50.
Was it 50?
1 year. It was like 50, I think, or something along those lines. Either way, shout out to everyone who's been on the show. Shout out to everyone who's going to be on the show in the future. Shout out to everyone thus far. This has been a great show. Thank you for all your hot takes. We did them all. Usually we don't. But we did them all. Except Jay Mysterio, who had multiple of them. But we sat down and we did them all. So we hope you guys enjoy the show as well. Take us out, man. Take us out, sound band.
Yes. Thank you all for listening to the A Show. Obviously, it's our first time trying out our new equipment. If there's any, we're gonna listen back to this and reconvene and try and make it way better. Make it way better than you could ever imagine. So I mean, I literally just got a phone call right as we're trying to wrap up. This whole 2 hour span, no phone calls, and literally just got one. So until then, next week, thank you for listening to the A Show. We will be reporting to you live the day after Election Day. All right.
Should we wait? Okay, so we record usually before the election.
Right.
Do you want to wait? Do you want to record during like the results? It would be super late at night.
No, because the thing is either way, you're either going to be bummed or going to be really happy. And I just think it'd be funny to do it before, just so that we can see how the world burned after. Unless we record and then just do an addendum and be like, "Yo, we're recording this part after the election."
Let's see how it goes. Let's record normally, and then if we have to add an addendum, like a former WWE Hall of Famer still president.
Let's not even say that. But what we can say and what I will say is we have seen what has happened in the past 4 years. We have seen what has happened to African Americans. We've seen what has happened to LGBT. We've seen what has happened to people who want equality and that want change. On a local level, you absolutely have the power through your vote. On the presidential level, I'll just say it right now, I'm not a fan of either. But at least with one, there is a huge chance that if we make enough noise and we fight enough, they will listen to us. So the power is literally in our hands here. Next week, make the right choice. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. You know who the hell to choose. We are in a pandemic, and we have with one of these choices, we have no sign of getting out of it. With the other one, we at least have someone who is willing to listen and go through with a plan. So if you want to go to WrestleMania and you want to live a regular fucking life next year, you know what the fuck to choose. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. For Meelz, I'm Justin. See you next week.